Right now, in kitchens all over the world, someone is eating a juicy peach, splitting open a plum, polishing off a bowl of cherries, biting into an apricot, or cracking an almond shell, and then tossing what's left straight into the garbage. What that person is throwing away isn't trash. It's a fully formed, genetically complete fruit tree, sitting dormant, waiting, and it cost them absolutely nothing. Follow 3 simple steps, and that pit you were about to scrape into the bin could turn into a tree pumping out hundreds of pounds of fruit for the next 2, 3, even 4 decades. If you've been tossing your pits without a second thought, that ends today, because after this video, you won't be able to look at a peach pit the same way again. If you actually want reliable, field-tested advice on raising peaches, plums, cherries, apricots, and almonds, advice built from real seasons with real trees in real dirt, not rehashed from some blog nobody's ever tested, then subscribe now and switch on notifications. Every week I share content built for home growers and backyard orchardists who want more fruit, fewer dead seedlings, and better results from every square foot they've got. Hit that subscribe button, and you'll be joining a growing community of people already seeing it pay off. Today I'm walking you through the exact 3-stage method for turning a discarded pit into a living, fruiting tree. And I'm covering peaches, plums, cherries, apricots, and almonds individually, because each one has its own quirks that most tutorials gloss right over. By the time this video ends, you'll know exactly how to prep your pits, how to force reliable germination, and how to raise your seedlings so they don't just sprout. They survive and thrive into productive trees. Doesn't matter if you're working a full acreage, a small backyard plot, or a couple of pots on an apartment balcony. This works anywhere. Let's dig in. Here's a fact that most people go their whole lives never learning, and once I understood it, it completely reshaped how I look at fruit trees. Inside every single stone fruit pit, peach, plum, cherry, apricot, almond, all of them, sits a complete, living embryo. A miniature dormant plant with the entire genetic blueprint for a mature, fruit-bearing tree already coded inside it. That pit isn't garbage. It's a head start on something that could outlast you, feeding generations of your family long after you're gone. And yet almost everyone throws it away, simply because no one ever told them what it was worth. The rare few who do attempt to grow one, dropping a pit into a pot and hoping, nearly always come up empty. And it's never because of bad soil, bad weather, or bad luck. It's because they skipped one non-negotiable biological step. Skip it, and the seed will sit there lifeless, no matter how long you wait or how ideal your setup is. That step is called stratification, and understanding it is the whole foundation this entire method rests on. Here's the biology behind it and why it matters so much. Every one of these stone fruit species, peach, plum, cherry, apricot, almond, evolved in regions with genuine cold winters. Their seeds are hardwired to stay dormant until they've experienced an extended stretch of cold, damp conditions that mimics a real winter season. It's a built-in survival strategy. If a seed sprouted the moment it hit the ground in midsummer, that tender seedling would face brutal heat and drought and die long before winter arrived. So the seed holds off. It reads the cold and the moisture over time, and only once that threshold has been met does it unlock germination. That cold, moist waiting period is stratification. Out in nature, it happens on autopilot. The pit drops in fall, spends winter buried in cool, damp earth, and finally sprouts once spring warmth arrives. At home, you have to fake that winter yourself. Get it right, and the germination numbers you'll see are honestly impressive. I've personally pulled germination rates north of 70% on peach pits with this exact process. Skip stratification, and most growers get nothing at all. The second obstacle that trips up most home growers is that rock-hard outer casing, the endocarp, wrapped around the actual seed. Pick up a peach pit, and you'll notice right away it's nothing like a soft bean or tomato seed. It's a dense, woody, ridged shell, built for protection. That shell has to survive falling from the tree, sitting exposed through an entire winter, getting trampled by wildlife, and cycling through repeated freezing and thawing. Great for survival in the wild. A real headache when you're trying to sprout it on your kitchen counter. Left alone, that shell can take months to break down naturally, and during that stretch the seed inside is at serious risk of rotting before it ever gets a chance to grow. Growers who consistently succeed know how to work around this, either by gently cracking the shell open to reach the seed directly, or through scarification methods that speed things along without damaging what's inside. That single piece of knowledge is the dividing line between people who get real results season after season and people who try once, fail, and quit. So here's the full three-step process, broken down for peaches, plums, cherries, apricots, and almonds specifically. The core framework stays consistent, but the timing and technique shift enough between species that getting these details right will make or break your outcome. Step 1. Preparing the pit. This is where the majority of failed attempts go wrong. When you finish your fruit, resist the urge to just toss the pit straight into a pot of dirt. Bring it inside first, and clean it the right way. Rinse it thoroughly under running water, and scrub off every last trace of clinging fruit flesh with a stiff brush. This isn't just tidiness. Any leftover flesh will decompose during stratification, and that decay invites the exact fungal and bacterial growth that kills the seed before it ever gets a shot at sprouting. Once it's clean, lay the pit on a paper towel somewhere warm and let it air dry for 2 to 3 days, out of direct sunlight, just at normal room temperature. This drying window lets the shell's outer surface settle before the next stage begins. For peaches and apricots specifically, I recommend gently cracking that tough woody shell using a nutcracker, or by wrapping it in a cloth and tapping carefully with a hammer. Controlled, light taps, not a full swing. The goal is opening the shell just enough to free the seed without crushing or splitting it. Once exposed, that seed looks like a small, pale, smooth, teardrop-shaped almond, and pulling it free from the shell speeds up both stratification and germination considerably. Plums and cherries have a thinner shell, so you can stratify the whole pit without cracking it, though lightly roughing up one end of a cherry pit with fine sandpaper will help move things along. For almonds, if you're buying them, the shell's usually already removed for you. But if you're harvesting fresh from a tree, crack and extract the kernel using the exact same method as a peach. Step 2. Cold stratification. Getting this stage right is what separates a garden full of thriving young trees from an empty tray of nothing. Take your cleaned pits or freed seeds and tuck them into a small container or resealable bag filled with a handful of slightly moist growing medium. My go-to mix is half coarse sand, half coconut coir, damp enough to hold its shape when squeezed in your fist, but never wet enough to release water. Bury the pits in that mix, seal the container loosely so a little air can still get in, and place it in your refrigerator, ideally between 1 and 5 degrees Celsius. A standard fridge does the job perfectly. Here's where the timing really diverges between species, and it matters enormously. Peaches need the longest cold period of the group, 90 to 120 days, a full 3 to 4 months in the fridge. That's exactly why I tell people to start their peach pits in autumn, so they're primed and ready by late winter or early spring. Plums need somewhere between 60 and 90 days. Apricots run close to peaches, at 80 to 100 days. Cherries fall in the 60 to 90-day range depending on variety. Almonds need the least patience of all. Usually just 40 to 60 days does it. Write the start date down somewhere you'll actually see it. Check in every couple of weeks to make sure the medium hasn't fully dried out, and if it has, add just enough water to restore that light dampness. Watch closely for the first sign of success, a tiny white root tip breaking through the seed coat. The moment you spot that root tip, the pit is ready to plant, whether or not the full stratification window has technically closed. Trust the root tip over the calendar. Step 3. Planting and getting your seedling established. This final stage is where patience and the right growing conditions decide whether your seedling turns into a real tree or just becomes another cautionary story. Once your pit shows that root tip, or once its stratification period wraps up, get your growing container or garden bed ready. I recommend container growing for the entire first season regardless of your climate. Use a pot at least 20 centimeters deep, with solid drainage holes, filled with quality potting mix, blended with about 20% coarse perlite for drainage. At this early stage, fruit tree seedlings are brutally sensitive to sitting in soggy soil. Dig a hole roughly 3 centimeters deep in the center, nestle the pit or seed in with the root tip facing down, and cover it lightly with your soil mix. Water it thoroughly until you see drainage from the bottom, then place the pot somewhere warm, a windowsill catching morning light, or a sheltered outdoor spot with bright indirect sun. Skip direct, harsh sunlight at this stage. What the seedling wants is warmth and gentle brightness until it develops its first 4 to 6 true leaves. Germination from planting to first visible shoot typically runs 1 to 3 weeks with a properly stratified seed. Nothing after 4 weeks usually means the stratification period wasn't long enough. Jot that down and adjust the timing next time around. Once your seedling has pushed out 4 to 6 leaves and is clearly growing, start easing it into more direct morning sun gradually over about 2 weeks. At that point, feed it a heavily diluted, balanced liquid fertilizer, roughly half the strength listed on the label, every 2 weeks to support the young root system without overwhelming it. Manage it well, and by the end of that first growing season, a seedling from any of these 5 fruits can reach 60 to 90 centimeters tall and be ready to move into its permanent home in the garden. I want to pause here for a second, because I'm genuinely curious what's growing where you are. Drop a comment right now and tell me which pit you're planting first: peach, plum, cherry, apricot, or almond. Just type the name below. I go through every comment on this channel personally, and I want to know exactly which tree you're starting today. Now here's a tip I genuinely haven't seen covered anywhere else, and it makes a real difference to both your germination success and the long-term vigor of the tree you end up growing. When you're choosing which pits to save, don't just grab whatever's on your plate. Be selective. Pick your pits from the largest, healthiest, best-formed fruit you can get your hands on. Here's why it matters. An embryo pulled from a big, well-nourished piece of fruit carries larger carbohydrate reserves than one from a small, stressed, or damaged piece. Those reserves are literally what fuels the seedling from the moment it germinates until it breaks the soil surface and starts producing its own energy through photosynthesis. More reserves means faster germination, a stronger initial root system, and a more vigorous young tree overall. In practice, that means if a particular tree in your life is cranking out exceptional fruit, save those pits. If the fruit came from a struggling tree, was picked too early, or sat in storage a long time, expect a weaker seedling. Your best pits will always come from fully ripe fruit, eaten fresh, from a healthy, productive tree. One more note: always stratify 3 to 5 pits for every single tree you actually want, because even flawless technique won't guarantee every seed sprouts. Having extras in the fridge gives you a safety net, and if they all take, you can pick the strongest one and pass the rest along to another grower. Before wrapping up, let's run through the mistakes I see most often, because even people who understand the theory can still sabotage their own results. Mistake 1: skipping stratification or cutting it short. I get messages constantly from people whose peach pit didn't sprout after 2 weeks in a pot. 2 weeks. A peach pit needs 90 to 120 days of cold before it will even consider waking up. There's no way around the biology. Mistake 2: using a stratification medium that's too wet. Damp, not soaked. If your medium is wet enough to drip when you squeeze it, you're rotting your seeds before they get a chance. Squeeze a handful first. If water comes out, mix in more dry material. Mistake 3. Planting the seed with the root tip facing upward. Sounds obvious, but it happens more than you'd think. The root always goes down. The shoot emerges from the opposite end and grows up. Mistake 4. And this one wrecks more seedlings than anything else. Overwatering after emergence. Young seedlings need steady moisture, but drainage has to be excellent. Leave the soil soggy for more than a day or two and the roots rot, the seedling collapses, and it looks like it simply gave up. It didn't give up, it drowned. Water only when the top layer of soil feels dry, never on a rigid schedule. Mistake 5. Rushing the seedling outdoors without hardening it off first. A seedling raised indoors or in shelter isn't ready for full sun and open air right away. Ease it in, a few hours of gentle morning sun for a week, then half days, then full outdoor exposure. Rush it, and you'll watch the leaves scorch while the seedling goes into shock at the exact moment it should be building roots. So think about that next time you're eating a peach on a hot afternoon, or finishing a bowl of cherries, or cracking open an apricot. What's sitting in your hand is the start of a tree, one that could be bearing fruit within 3 to 4 years, and could still be feeding your family 30 years from now. You don't need a nursery. You don't need special equipment. You just need the fruit you were already going to eat, and the 3 steps you now understand completely. That's the whole barrier to entry, and it's about as low as it gets for growing anything worthwhile. The payoff, though, is something you'll be enjoying for decades. If this video gave you something you can actually use, if you're saving a pit today that would have gone in the trash yesterday, do me a favor and hit subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful, and share it with someone who's always tossing their fruit pits without thinking twice, because they need to see this too. I post practical, field-tested content every single week for growers who take their trees seriously. No filler, no recycled advice, just real experience from real orchards. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and you won't miss a single video that could change how you grow. Next week, we're building directly on everything covered here. How to cut down the weight between seedling and first harvest on peach, plum, and cherry trees, including the exact grafting technique commercial nurseries use to get trees fruiting years ahead of a seed-grown tree left to its own timeline. If you're growing from pits and want fruit as fast as biologically possible, that video is built for you.